Hi everyone, in this video we will look at how to show quotes in the style of magazines. So I have looked through many magazines and I have shortlisted 12 unique layouts. So let's look at them one by one. This is our base slide. It's a normal looking slide, nothing remarkable about it. We have some text, paragraph, bullet points, a quote, and a paragraph. On the right hand side, we have a representational image. I don't know about you, but I often struggle with these kind of slides. You know, those slides which look fine, but you know that they are dull and there is something missing. To get over this creative block, I often refer to magazines to get some inspiration. So in this short deck, I have compiled 12 different techniques that magazines use that take mundane looking content and make it interesting for the readers. Let's start with an easy one. This is our first layout. I have taken the same text, changed the alignment to justify from left. I have increased the spacing above and below the quote so that our quote stands on its own. Also, I have changed the color of this text to a bright red. Earlier, this color was coming from this syrup color. It's fine, but it looks too desaturated and we want our quote to pop. So don't be afraid to use bright colors whenever you have quotes. For the image, I have cropped this to a semicircle. Here is how you can crop this image to a semicircle. Go to Insert, click on Shapes, select Partial Circle. Draw a partial circle, change it so that we get a semicircle like this. Align it to the left edge, place your image behind it. Let's color this semicircle white and give this a transparency of 20% so we can see behind our shape. Adjust your image if needed. Then select the image first, then the shape. The order of selection matters. Then go to Shape Format, click on Merge Shapes and select Intersect. That's how you crop an image into a semicircle. Next up, I have split this original text into two columns. I have used a picture style for our image. So to get this, click on Picture Format and select this picture style called Rotated White, and you will get an effect like this. There are a couple of more things I have done which are subtle, but these are typical of magazines. One is we have this single quote shape that's also acting like a drop cap. It acts as an entry point and it invites you into reading the quote. These two lines help separate our quote from rest of the text. We have this rectangle shape that tells us where our text ends. So this is also a simple one, but it gives you an impression that you have spent some time in designing this. This is the third layout where bulk of this text is intact. I have taken out the quote and put that on the right hand side. In between these two lines, we have this quotation mark. I've also added this separator between the quote and the person who said it. Finally, I have taken this original image, I have enlarged it and taken a small slice of this image and put it at the bottom here. If the image is too bright, you can also add some transparency to tone it down a bit. Under Picture Transparency, maybe give this a transparency of 10% or so. It'll just tone down your image a touch. Next up, I have used a 3-column layout for our text. The quote is now in the center. And at the bottom, we have this interesting looking accent that represents the speech bubble in an abstract sense. On the right hand side, I have taken a vertical slice of an image and I have placed it at the right edge of our slide. For the next one, we have the same 3-column layout. The image is exactly same, but here I have moved the quote on the left hand side. Also, these two circles represent quotation marks in an abstract sense. At the bottom, we have this thin red line that boxes in our content. This red color ties in our quote with this name here. So you can see different elements go along well with each other and create this cohesive look. This one you saw in the thumbnail. It's a 2-column layout. The quote has been separated out in this bottom right corner. The title of this person has moved up in this red box. The image has been cropped in a rectangle with one rounded corner shape. There is also a slight shadow going on here. The quotation marks here are in the font called Elephant. This is a very simple yet effective layout. The next one builds up on the previous layout. Here, the quotation marks are in the font called Gill Sans Ultra Bold. The image has been replaced with the cupcake itself, and I have placed a slight shadow here at the bottom. Anytime you add 3D objects like this on slide with a shadow, it just softens your content. So try this effect whenever you get a chance. Just cut out an object from an image and place it like so with a shadow, and it'll make your slides look real and 3D. Next one is a simple layout. It's a 3-column layout. The quote goes all the way to the right. This is a simple layout to replicate, but one thing I want to note here is look at this quotation mark here. This quotation mark has been taken out of this text and placed on the left side so that there is nothing else below it. So typically magazines have these quotation marks aligned to the left, and they have them standing on their own like so. The color of this text comes from this image itself. So just take an eyedropper tool and pick any color from this image. Ideally a darker and vibrant color should work the best. The next layout is pretty bold. Here I have placed the quote inside the quotation mark itself. Not many presentations would allow you to be this bold, but if an opportunity presents, try this approach. Pick a color from your image, color your quotation mark in that color, and just place your text on top of it. Next one builds up on the previous layout. The quote is now part of a speech bubble, and I have duplicated this speech bubble and placed a darker version of it on the back. So it looks as if this speech bubble is 3D, and we have this bold quotation mark here to call out attention to our text. The next layout has this quote on top of this image itself. I have used a translucent background behind this text because otherwise it becomes harder to read the text. The text doesn't necessarily have to be placed in the center. You can also move this at the bottom and then move this icon maybe here in the upper right corner. Try different layouts and see what works best. And the last layout I have is inspired from the Wired magazine. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column layout. The unique thing about this layout is the quote in the last column is slightly off center. So just adding a little bit of asymmetry can break that monotony and create intrigue. And that's it for this one. I will be sharing a link to this file in the description. So feel free to download it and use any of these layouts whenever you get a chance. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you next time.